A very important event happened in 1938 in Igbo. Igbo is in the present day Anambra State. Usually the practice during the dry season is for people to search for water. So a certain Igbo man called Museuum, in the course of searching for water, started digging a water well. And as he was digging, suddenly the place now caved in. He now realized it was a burial chamber. What was strange was that whoever was buried there was buried in a seated position. The skeletal remains shows that a crown was placed on the head of the person, and the person was actually seated on a throne. So Amuzie naturally was curious because as of 1938, most places in Igbo land don't have kings. So he alerted his friends. They even invited some colonial officers. When they gathered, they discovered that not only was this person a king, whoever was buried there was also a priest. And he was a very wealthy man because a lot of ornaments, most of them made of bronze, were found inside that grave. Even his personal belonging, even his shaving blade, even his art collections. In traditional Igbo society, they use art to measure wealth. Obviously, that person was a very wealthy man. So the colonial officers, after watching through the ornaments that were found inside that grave, their first reaction was, who could have produced this thing? Because the technology adopted in the production of some of the items they found there, they are so complicated that it was difficult for them to believe that Igbos had the technology to produce such things. Because they believe this is very important to history, they invited an archaeologist from London, a certain Professor Thurston Shaw, who now did detailed excavation, archaeological excavation of that particular site. And because they couldn't get immediate answers about who produced those bronze ornaments, Thurston Shaw had to go to London. He did radiocarbon dating of this material they found inside that grave. And most of them were 9th century objects. Now, why am I making this video today? We discovered also that part of the art collections found inside that grave was giving us a clue about the 9th century Igbo society. Why am I saying that? Art for the traditional Igbo society wasn't just about aesthetics. It wasn't just about beauty. Artists of the past, they were using art as a means to document history. For example, we discovered in the art collections of that man that an artist made conscious efforts to use pictograms in didactic manner to tell stories surrounding the life of this priest king. Because science can now tell age of objects, what they found inside that grave is what is now giving us a clue about the 9th century Igbo society. But why am I making this video today? Most of the objects found inside that grave are presently on display at National Museum of Unity in Igbo. It will be good as an Igbo person or anybody that loves culture to visit National Museum of Unity in Igbo and see for yourself the evidence of our past, to see for yourself the evidence of the way Igbo society used to be, the evidence that our technology, our civilization was actually interrupted with the coming of colonialism. National Museum of Unity in Igbo is at 65 Abakaliki Road, by Obi Junction, very close to 82 Division, Nigerian Army. If you are having difficulty locating the place, you can also call me on phone 080-33-80-7743. My name is Fuchuku. I'm the head of education department.